Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and I'm just plain living.
Good morning, Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
And here we are.
Here we are. Glad to be here again.
Ripping and roaring.
Yes,
it's springtime
absolutely.
in Tennessee.
Yes,
Did
absolutely.
you go see Shrek?
Went to see Shrek. Shrek's great.
cute.
If you
Cute
hadn't
as
seen
can
it,
be, yeah.
it's going to be still at the Civic Center this Friday and Saturday night.
And no Sunday matinee?
No Sunday. No
Okay.
Sunday. Friday and Saturday. It's done.
Phenomenal voices.
John's been really busy too because he also attended the ribbon cutting of the new Coffee County Jail. And folks,
Oh, cool.
all you folks out there who may be a criminal or whatever, or if you already are a criminal or may become a criminal,
Ought to be
you're
excited.
going to like the accommodations over there. At the
Things are looking up for you.
Things are looking up if you happen to get put in the Coffee County Jail. So maybe you'd be better served if you're going to commit a crime to do it in
Coffee County.
Coffee County right now, you know. So anyway, because you know our law
It's
enforcement,
wonderful
our
that
law
the-
enforcement
yeah.
people over here don't have a whole lot to do. So you
I'm
know.
sure they're proud of that new jail.
Oh, it's a great.
They needed
It's a
new
great facility. It's a high dollar facility. We'll have some video about that on the show today. Tom Corrington and I went over there and interviewed Steve and got some stuff, and it's very impressive. It's very
Yes.
impressive. One of the things that was most interesting to me is they don't have visitation anymore.
Oh, they don't?
Not live visitation. In each pod there's a room with computer screens and telephones.
talk to them.
And so your family member doesn't get to pat you and hand you a pack of cigarettes with a joint in it.
Right.
And pills and stuff like that. So it's
Or a phone. They don't get to hand you a phone so you can run your illegal
trying to cut
business
down on the
outside
contraband.
Yeah.
So they sit in another room out
Yeah.
front and have a computer screen and a telephone, and you visit that way. So.
And they all have developed a code so that they can say the words.
Yeah,
that
but it's
get through.
it's high tech. It's a high tech place and very, very impressive. So we'll look at that here in a
Coffee
little
County
bit.
should be proud. And I hope
yeah.
they have some good rehab programs in there.
Well, they're working on a lot of things, and that's very important. But that was a good deal, and I got another good video with General Alan Harris.
Good.
And he has agreed to be the president of the newly formed South Jackson Alumni Association.
Good.
So that's really great, and he is an impressive gentleman.
So to be a South Jackson Alumni Association, you have to have gone to school there? Is that it?
Gone to school, been a teacher, performed there.
Oh, just
Anybody or just
Okay.
want to participate and help raise money.
And there's a lot of folks that have a connection there. They either went
It's only
to school there.
$10.
Yeah.
Good deal.
It's only $10.
Yeah.
So listen, we have a lot for you today, folks, so we're going to cut the useless drivel right now. We'll be back after this quick commercial break. Don't y'all go away.
Are you tired of getting those letters in the mail being turned down for that new car due to bankruptcy, medical expenses, or divorce? Then look no further than Russell Barnett Kia. Good credit, bad credit, no problem. Here at Russell Barnett Kia, we are your bank. Dial 931-455-6066 or visit us on the web at russellbarnett.com. And remember, we are the bank and we can help you. Good credit, bad credit, no problem. Why buy anywhere else?
It's your trademark. That's something special everyone knows and remembers. It's your thing. It's made holidays special for decades and summers unforgettable for the entire neighborhood. It's made everyone laugh every single time. Don't let illness or injury keep you from doing your thing. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is our segment that we call Police Pointers, and our special guest today, as always, is Paul Blackwell, who is the Chief of Police in Tullahoma. You know, the last time you were on the show, Paul, we were talking, I think we were kind of ribbing you a little bit about maybe you were going through midlife crisis and stuff. And I forget what the reason was, you know. You know, the last time he was here, that was kind of a joke. But yesterday I ran into Paul at Stan McNabb Auto Dealership here in Tullahoma, and Paul was looking at this $150,000 car, which is made for racing. It's not even street legal.
Not street legal, right?
You know, and again, it's a new Camaro. We're probably going to show that to you at some point today. And did you buy that car, or?
I didn't even touch it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I did not even open the door on it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You know.
But that is something. I went and looked at it last week. COPO, C-O-P-O. I'm not sure what it stands for, but
has something to do with the dealers, with the system by which you purchase specially made cars.
Oh, okay.
Back in the 70s and 80s, which you may remember, you know, if you wanted a Chevy Bel Air, but you wanted a 427 engine and all this stuff, that was the way that
you ordered it.
Yeah.
It's something. They started it up last week, took it outside and started it up, and definitely rumbles.
Right, and they only made 69 of these. There's only 69 of them in the whole United States, and one of them's here in Tullahoma.
One is here on display in Tullahoma. Of course, they'd love to sell it, but it's on display, and it's something to look at.
It absolutely is. Absolutely.
We're not going to let them put it on the road. I know I've been asked several times, can we just run up and down the road one time? And the answer is no.
No.
Can't do it.
Yeah, absolutely not street legal. Bad news in the city of Baltimore today, and you know, it's something that I guess if you live in Tullahoma or in this immediate area, it's sometimes hard to grasp what people are thinking, Paul.
It is, and you know, from a law enforcement standpoint, you get very frustrated because what we're seeing are isolated incidents that create a massive response when we aren't considering how many incidents go on in a given day that are not controversial. You know, in Tullahoma alone, last year we had over 40,000 encounters with citizens, and none of them resulted in the type of response we're seeing in Baltimore or some of these others where people are burning businesses, looting, stealing, assaulting the police and the fire personnel that are trying to maintain order.
This is just hard to imagine.
It is. I mean, to me, as from a law enforcement standpoint, what are you hoping to achieve by doing all of this? To me, the way to affect change is through discussion, through peaceful discussion, and you know, in a small community, we're very fortunate. We have that opportunity to have discussions. You know, to where someone can stop into my office, we can talk about an issue. I can go out in the community and go visit with someone about an issue. And in the larger cities, you know, I know there's a more of an insulation to the top person. You know, you've got a lot of deputy chiefs and you know, things of that nature. But I just can't understand what people are hoping to achieve by tearing up their community. And
you know, and I get the impression just from watching the news that this entire incident is a result of a young man who was arrested and ultimately died in police custody. You get the impression when you watch news accounts of this, though, that the administration of the city of Baltimore, including the police department, they want to resolve this issue as well.
Sure. And you know, all of us that are in law enforcement, we don't condone. I mean, we're in law enforcement because we believe in a system of justice, and we have to support that system. And if something wrong occurred that led to the young man's death, then it needs to be investigated and a decision made. Is someone to be held accountable or not? And that's what our justice system is all about. We've got to give it a chance to work.
You know, I don't know that this is 100% accurate, but I think the police union there has a deal where they don't really have to respond to this for about 10 days or something. before they actually provide an answer to their, and certainly the administration can't help that. I mean, that's just the way it is.
And that's one of those, I hate to say that's the way it is, but if that's what is in place and has been agreed to by all the parties, not just the chief or the sheriff and the union, but it's got to be approved by the state. There's all kinds of approval processes. But to think that something would take 10 days before you could even discuss it. 10 days, a lot can happen in 10 days.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. And you also saw on CNN's accounts last night the CVS store that was on fire, and people are running around cutting fire hoses and throwing stuff at firemen and that sort of thing. And you mentioned it just a moment ago, but how crazy is that?
And
I mean, people live in that community. When you burn down that drugstore, for instance, to those kids that may be 19 or 20, it's probably not a big deal to them, but those other citizens
that relied on that CVS, they needed that CVS for something.
And and you run a big risk when that happens. They're gone; they won't be back.
Yeah.
So.
And how many of these incidents do you look back on that have occurred, and the damage that occurred during it has really been replaced?
Sure.
I think I heard that this morning, that they were talking about there's still damage from 20, 30 years ago.
Exactly, from 1968 when Dr. Martin Luther King
was assassinated. That hasn't been repaired. So what does it do to a community?
Sure.
I just sit back and watch some of these newscasts and wonder, what you like to ask is, what are you accomplishing? I did see a video of a mother who apparently found out her son was one of these rioters. And she gave him a beating.
She did.
Yeah, and maybe that's what it takes.
That might be the best thing that ever happened to that young man.
It very well could be. So it's just very disappointing to see that. But again, I guess what comes out of that from a Tullahoma standpoint is that discuss it with our city leaders if there are issues. We're not unapproachable.
Sure, absolutely.
And I think we're very fortunate where we live that we do have that communication, and if issues are brought to the forefront, that they're addressed in the proper way, to where rioting, looting, burning, stealing, and assaulting your emergency services is not the answer.
And we don't have a big problem with that, I don't believe, in our community. But I do know that, and I don't know the specifics of it, but there are, there have been groups that have met to discuss race relations, for one thing, over the years, even though there haven't been problems, to try to get those things dealt with before they become issues.
And I think that's a good thing to do.
Right.
Don't wait till a problem comes about before you start addressing it.
Well, you noticed last night that the Baltimore police, and I'm sure they have a huge police force, but they were somewhat overwhelmed, I would imagine, considering the number of rioters out there versus the number of police officers available at that point. What would happen if, God forbid, this happened in our community? There are 50 people on the Tullahoma Police
37.
Department. 37. What do you do in a situation like that? I assume you have agreements.
You'd have to. Well, we've got mutual aid agreements with people, and of course, you get on the radio and you start calling for help. There's several law enforcement agencies we could rely on to give us assistance, and we do for other incidents, not riots or anything, but if we were to have a fight at a bar,
right?
That if we've only got 5 or 6 people working,
right?
Not all 5 or 6 can necessarily go there because there may be other things they're dealing with.
Right.
So we may have to call for some help from Manchester or the sheriff's office or the highway patrol.
Right.
And they're only minutes away.
Right.
Now, if we had an ongoing event similar to what we're talking about in Baltimore, it would take more planning and logistics, and because 37 officers. You may have a crowd of 37 people.
Sure.
But, we've still got to provide service to the rest of the community.
Yeah.
And so
it's probably something that you guys have thought about or
you can't help but think about it.
What
if it, that hypothesis, what if it happened here?
Right.
What would we do?
Right.
And, you know, and we would have to have help.
Right.
You know, take someone like New York City, 30,000 police officers.
Right.
But what's the population of New York City?
Oh yeah, 10 million maybe.
It's not a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, the police are always going to be outnumbered.
Sure, absolutely.
Just if you rely on just your local resources.
Yeah.
So we have to call the cavalry.
Yeah. Okay, it's days like today. We're glad we live in the
We are very
southern middle
thankful
Tennessee.
we live in a town like this.
Paul's got to get out to get his new car out there, so we're going to have to cut this a little bit short today.
You know, you only get 25 miles to a tank.
To a tank.
So I joked with him, if that thing ever gets stolen, we won't have to look too
You
far.
won't have to look too far.
Right.
25 miles to a tank.
Yeah.
Gas, by the way, for that particular vehicle, they told me yesterday in this interview, was $7.10 a gallon. You can't even buy it in Tullahoma. You have to go to Shelbyville.
They even explained to me the front in the engine has got a cooling block that you've got to put a gallon of water in and like 2 bags of ice into
goodness.
it. And then even after running it for just a few seconds, it's up to like 80 degrees.
Oh, goodness.
So you've got to actually fill this cooling tub with ice and water.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
what they've come up with.
Boys and their toys.
Boys and their toys. Paul, thank you so much.
All right,
it's always
thank
a
you.
pleasure to see you. Folks, we'll be right back in just a moment with more Living.
We get closer to a world with more birthdays when we take cancer patients by the hand. We help them find answers and guidance and hope, and give them more candles to light. We're the American Cancer Society. Help create a world with more birthdays at morebirthdays.com.
Serving you as a local firefighter.
Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force.
Serving Tullahoma.
Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
We love our nonprofits around here, folks, and there's something coming up next Tuesday, a week from today. It's a statewide operation called the Big Payback, where you get an opportunity to give to your favorite nonprofit, and my favorite nonprofit is me. But other than that, other than the Gray family, it's South Jackson Civic Center, and here's something I put together for the Big Payback. Civic Center in Tullahoma, Tennessee invites you to participate in the Big Payback, a day of giving May 5th from midnight till midnight when you can donate to your favorite nonprofit, South Jackson Civic Center. Here's how a few people have been paid back from their gifts.
Hi, I'm Frayne Couch Gray, and I attended South Jackson Street School in the early 60s. Over the years, I've enjoyed volunteering from time to time, and I'm currently serving as facility coordinator for the South Jackson Civic Association. I'm proud to say that my big payback is seeing our son and daughter-in-law on stage.
Hi, my name is Eric Peterson, and my wife Erica and I we run the Performing Arts for Children and Teens program here at South Jackson Civic Center, and our big payback is watching our kids transition from these small, young people with all these great big bright ideas, and then watching them transition into these young adults and seeing all their ideas and their ambitions and their drives come to life on the stage here, and that's our big payback.
Hi, I'm Jay Garrick, and I went to Tullahoma High School, and I performed here at South Jackson. And my big payback is them giving me all the skills and tools I needed to become a professional actor and do what I love doing professionally.
I'm John Gray, and 35 years ago, a group of volunteers and I went to Franklin, Tennessee to an old barn and rescued the theater seating from the Tennessee Theater and brought it to South Jackson Civic Center. And my big payback is seeing those same seats filled 35 years later on show day.
I'm Peggy Burton, and I'm chairman of the Performing Arts Series here at South Jackson Civic Center. And 35 years ago, I produced the first South Jackson Goes Country show, and my big payback is I get to do that again this year. This will be the 36th year.
I'm Cersei Hopkins, and I went to school here at South Jackson, and I have supported it ever since. My big payback is my daughter Catherine is chairman of the board.
I'm Catherine Hopkins, chairman of the board at the South Jackson Civic Association. We'd like to invite you to participate in the Day of Giving for the big payback on May 5th. Help keep the performing arts alive at your local Performing Arts Center in Tullahoma.
We appreciate you giving it forward with your donation to the big payback for South Jackson Civic Center. You can see what blooms in the future from the seeds you sowed today. Live here, give here with the big payback. May 5th from midnight to midnight.
At the time, maybe you were just building a bridge, a business, or a community. Maybe you were simply working for a home or a better tomorrow. At the time, you served out of duty and love of country. But in that time, we see a legacy created, an American dream lived. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
There's no place like home.
Getting home safely is just a click away, and choosing the right seat for your little one's age and size will take you down the road to safer travels.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham from the News Channel 5 Weather Center. Look to Jim Fuller and crew for local news night here on Channel 6.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're pleased to have joining us on the set now Mike Inman, who is the Executive Director of the Tennessee Walking Horse National Celebration in Shelbyville. And you'll be hearing a lot about the National Celebration over the next few months leading up to the August event, which is they'll crown the World Grand Championship, among other things. Mike, I know you're here today to talk about some really neat things that are happening in the industry. But before we start, I know that this is an industry that has been much maligned over the last few years. Unfairly, if you happen to be close to it, as I know Jerry Harrison and I am here, and certainly it's your livelihood. But recently there was some vindication, I think, from a court ruling. It was not just a regular court, it was a federal court, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, it was a Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is actually the second highest court in the land. The only court with more power than that is the Supreme Court itself.
All right. Yeah, right. Yeah. Now, can you give us just a little background? There was a lawsuit filed by some individuals who felt like they'd been treated unfairly by the USDA in their inspection process. Is that a fair
Well, what it was a suit initially brought by SHO, which is the Horse Inspection Organization, and Contender Farms, over the USDA. Actually, it was a lawsuit about overreach, where the USDA was mandating a penalty structure that they wanted to put in, but they wanted it done by private individuals. And it was really a case of government overreach. And to have individuals sue the government and win at the second highest court in the land, that's truly a landmark decision. And it goes similar to the things that are going on with the IRS targeting conservative organizations. It's all about overreach that is rampant in our country, unfortunately, right now. We have from the USDA, some people talk about the regulations of EPA and actions of the IRS. So it was a landmark decision. It's almost a man bites dog story, because it's so rare that you can sue the federal government and be successful in court. And as a matter of fact, not was it only a success, it was a 3-0 unanimous decision, and very strong statement.
Now, certainly if you're close to the industry, you're not surprised at that ruling, because I think most of us around the walking horse industry have always thought that this is not a fair process.
Well, that's true, but actually we lost the first round in Fort Worth, and we had to appeal. It was a nearly a 4-year process at $1 million, but it was worth fighting, and especially to prevail. And one thing that was very interesting that came out of it was the Fifth Circuit Court then, after making its decision, pretty much took the USDA to task about the inspection system that's going on, citing them that it was far more art than science, and that it was producing a tremendously large amount of false positives, in which they say that people are found to be guilty of something that they're actually innocent of, due to the intensely subjective inspection process. So that's quite a strong statement to come from 3 learned judges, but we concur and agree with that, and are trying to work with the USDA to move away from subjective testing and to objective testing, and we're hoping that we can pull them along and join us and work with us. But that's the next task that we have in front of us.
Right. Okay. Now I need to get back to the subject matter for which you came to today, and that was some really neat and positive things about the industry. I know you've got a new leadership council and also a big show coming.
Yeah, the leadership council is is the continuance of what we just talked about. Last year at the celebration, we instituted, in addition to the regular inspection process, a series of objective testing, digital X-ray and blood tests, to try to again go to the technology of today. The rules that we're working on came from a law in the late 60s, early 70s, and that's the science that we're continuing to use, and it's outdated. And it does create a lot of false positives, and it is more art than science. But to not to belabor the point, we started that, was called the Veterinary Advisory Committee, to use objective testing, similar to what other breeds do and the horse racing breed does. And we're continuing that on, and matter of fact, met with the acting administrator of the USDA last Friday and try to encourage them to accept this organization and start moving towards this type of testing. So that's what's going on there. We're real excited about the progress that we're making, and of course, and again, the court case is helping substantiate that or reinforce that that notion. As far as the fun things that are going on, but it's all important to the industry and its survival. Not only its survival, but its growth. We just wrapped up a 2-day horse show, 1 day in Columbia, 1 day in Shelbyville due to the weather, where it was a show that had an uptick from the previous year. Jackson, Mississippi had a large increase in the late part of April, and or March, excuse me. And then in 3 weeks, we're going to be having the Spring Fun Show at the Celebration Grounds, May 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, and we're real excited about that, and want to invite everybody, of course, to come on out.
And that's always a big
it's kind of the first one of the first major show of the year locally, and traditionally those that do well there are generally the leading contenders going into the show season, and then eventually ending up at the national championship right before Labor Day.
Yeah, that'll give you a good insight into who the players are, who the big-time players this year as far as possible.
Absolutely. Your leading contenders will be there. You'll get an opportunity to see a lot of the 2-year-olds. This year we're splitting or adding extra divisions in both the stallion side. We'll have 2 divisions of that, and the mare and gelding side. So you can get, there's a lot of buzz. There's a lot of new, strong, athletic 2-year-olds that people are anxious to see, and we're anxious to showcase them.
All right, folks, that's coming up again when, Mike, the fun show?
That's the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and there's also something we talk about the walking horse being so versatile that he's the best horse there is, from the rail, which is the show, to the trail, which is having fun out with your friends, and there's a big event coming up that pertains to our trail riding, and that's going to be Memorial Day. At Ravenswood Farm in Franklin. That's the farm of Steve Smith, who's the president of the Breeders Association, and this is sponsored by the Tennessee Walking Horse Breeders and Exhibitors Organization, the Pleasure Walking Horse Association, the PWAT, the Celebration, and Walking Horse Report. And everybody's invited. The land is just gorgeous if you've ever been out there. But it's just a gorgeous, great place to go trail riding. If you're a member of PWAT or a member of the Breeders Association, it's free.
Yeah.
If you're not, I believe the charge is $25, which goes to the youth scholarship and the youth development at the Breeders Association, so it goes to a good cause.
Sure.
And Steve is putting on a barbecue lunch for everybody, and if you know Steve, it's going to be first class. It's going to be delicious.
Right.
So Memorial Day, call the Breeders Association, or go to their website or the Celebration website, twhnc.com. It's all the information. Everybody's invited to get out and enjoy our horse outside the show ring and out in the country, and it'll be a great time.
Okay, and anybody can do that, folks.
Anybody,
anybody. The whole family.
Bring your horse, come on.
And also, don't forget the fun show coming up, folks, and it's at Calisonic Arena in Shelbyville. And, you know, it'd be nice if we got some support, but people coming out to watch that, because finally we've been vindicated, we think.
Yeah,
and,
to a large degree, yes.
And so it's a great time to get out there. It's an exciting time for the walking horse industry. Mike, thank you so much for coming
I
over
appreciate
today. We
the
appreciate it
opportunity.
very much.
Thank you.
Folks, we'll be right back in a moment with more living right after this.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the Paint Works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them, and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat. You know, they do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paint Works at 1960 North Washington Street, and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fixes you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paint Works today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paint Works. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I told you earlier, South Jackson School and Civic Association has started a new alumni group, and I stopped by for an interview between my wife, Fran, and General Alan Harris, and here's how it went.
This is Fran Gray here, a proud alum of South Jackson Street School, 1961 and to about 67. And I am happy to be with another alum,
Yeah, I
Alan
started in
Harris.
1960.
You did?
Yeah.
What was it like, Alan?
Well, I don't know. I was so young that, you know, Mama would drop me off back here. Miss Carey was my first grade teacher, and you know, I objected, you know, for the first couple of days, and then I got used to it and found out I, you know, make some friends here, and so I really enjoyed it. I can, you know, unlike all my other junior high and high school teachers, I can remember every one of my grade school teachers.
I bet you can, and I bet if they were with us today, they'd say they remembered you too. yeah,
hopefully for some good reasons.
Well, Alan and his sweet wife, Susan Leitner Harris, left Tullahoma for a time to follow a military career. And you've been back how long now?
We moved back around December of 2012, I think. Actually living in the house that Susan grew up in.
Yes.
So having a big time, but you know, when I came back to Tullahoma, I guess the end of last year, I was invited to speak at the Veterans Day gathering here, and it was at the Civic Center. And when I walked into the place, you know, a lot of old memories crept back over me, and I was getting ready to do my thing there in the auditorium where I had been a part of many, many plays, and was taught music by Miss Leach several years ago. And I walked in, and guess who I saw? Miss Leach. Oh. It was a big deal to me. I saw several other folks that I recognized, but brought back a lot of memories.
Yes.
First time I've been back in probably 40 years inside this building.
Yes.
It's really a big deal to me.
It is. It's a wonderful place, a wonderful house of memories, isn't it?
It's a wonderful place, but one of the things I guess I thought of when I saw the place again was, one, I was very happy that some forward-looking folks took the opportunity to save South Jackson from abandonment and ultimate destruction. And while that was all great and good, I think that it's time for us to take a more vested interest in it, particularly the structure itself, to bring it back to its original glory.
Yes.
And that's why I want to get involved.
Well, we are thrilled that you do, Alan. Alan has agreed to be the first president of the first organization of the South Jackson Alumni Association. And we're just delighted that you care so much and you recognize this place as a wonderfully historic memory, and that it's a real asset to our community.
It is indeed.
And there's no telling how many people have been through this place, not only as pupils, as they used to call it, but as performers. And our Alumni Association is going to be unique in that it's not just for students who went through these doors or performed those little plays, but for people who continued after it became a performing arts center and who have supported performances, who have participated in performances, who have attended performances. And we want everyone to become involved in our Alumni Association, don't we, Alan?
Absolutely, Fran. It's there's several good things that could happen. First of all, I am targeting the folks that either went to school here, were administrators or teachers here, and they're still around, and the performers that have passed through here. All, I'm sure, have good memories of this place. And so I want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to contribute.
Yes.
Yeah, there is a cost for membership. It's minimal. But what I'm really looking for is your time and your talent and your energy.
Yes.
To come up with some creative ideas to maintain this beautiful structure. And I know it doesn't look all that beautiful to somebody that hadn't seen it before, but it's beautiful to me.
Yes.
And I'd like to make sure that it stays beautiful.
I do too. I do too. Now, it is a minimal cost to join, just $10. Only $10. And if someone would like to give more than that, we would be more than happy to accept it. But for just $10, you can become a member of the South Jackson Alumni Association. And we want to be clear that this is above and beyond membership in the South Jackson Civic Association.
Yeah, there's some confusion associated with that. Susan was a little confused about it too, and I said there's two separate and distinct issues going on here.
Yes.
Civic Center Association is one, and that is to perpetuate the memory and the business of the Civic Center Association. That takes care of the performing arts and the museum. The Alumni Association really can be anything that we create it to be, but primarily my interest is making sure that the building doesn't succumb to Father Time and Mother Nature.
Yes, well put. So on May 5th, South Jackson is participating in the Big Payback. The Big Payback is a day for giving. It's a 24-hour period beginning at midnight on the 5th, and it runs until midnight on the 5th. And at that time, we are encouraging all of our friends of South Jackson to donate $10. There will be a special widget on our website where you can go and donate. There will be a special website on thebigpayback.org. The thing is, on that particular day, we're hoping to raise a lot of money because the city of Tullahoma has promised us a pledge up to $100,000. And if we could
They don't think we can do that.
Oh, I don't know. You know, it takes a few committed people to make a difference, and I think obviously there have been a lot of committed people over the years because otherwise this place wouldn't be here. But anyway,
You're right.
Anyone can send us $10. We have a special form, South Jackson Alumni Association. You can call us at 455-5321. We want to get it is, I believe, on our Facebook page. Tell your friends. That's still the best one. You can donate here at the Civic Center if you like, and then we will enter it online on May 5th, the Big Payback Day. Anytime during that day, we will be here for 24 hours straight. So if you want to give on that day, the Big Payback Day, please come by the Civic Center. There'll be people and activities out front. There'll be activity in the office. If you want to come by tomorrow and bring us something, we'll take it and we'll put it in on the Big Payback Day. There are special incentives, so we might win extra money by having the most donors. So we're sitting here in the old courtyard and reminiscing about how we loved coming out and
used to beat erasers right over
we
there.
used to beat erasers. That was our big, sometimes it was a punishment, but sometimes you felt like you were special if the
Just
teacher
an opportunity to get out of doors.
Yeah, that's right. So y'all come and see us and support us, join us, and help us keep this wonderful facility alive.
Thank you, and give often, give freely, give a lot.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Hello, this is Janie Price. When my husband Ray Price would tour across the country, his favorite place to dine was Cracker Barrel Old Country Store locations. His favorite thing to order was the Uncle Herschel.
And the beauty of it all is forever, you'll be holding me to.
I miss Ray dearly, and I'm so proud that his last album, Beauty Is the Final Sessions, is available at his favorite restaurant.
A love affair to remember.
The project includes a duet with Martina McBride and harmony vocals from Vince Gill. Ray believed this to be the best recording he had ever made.
Oh, I wish I was 18 again.
I think you'll agree when you pick up your copy of Beauty Is the Final Sessions at a Cracker Barrel Old Country Store location near you or at crackerbarrel.com.
A world without breast cancer is a world with more birthdays. And signing up for the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk will help us get there faster. The American Cancer Society invests in groundbreaking breast cancer research, and we're part of every community. In fact, 1 in 2 women newly diagnosed with breast cancer turns to us for support. Sign up today at makingstrideswalk.org. Together, we can finish the fight against breast cancer.
You're going to be glad you hung around today. We're going to talk about blood here on the set. I'm so excited to have Linda Hisey with me.
Nice to see
Linda's
you, Peg.
Executive Director of Media Relations.
Very good.
Aren't you impressed?
No, don't be.
We're fixing to have a mash bash.
We are. This is the original mash bash that Blood Assurance does. It's very exciting. We have a whole week long of mash bash.
Oh, it's a week.
Yeah, we used to just have it one day, and now we've decided that it would be May the 4th through May the 8th.
So that's next
and
week.
It is. And you can come into the Blood Assurance Center, and it'll be the new center, and we'll talk about that.
We need to bring that up.
Yeah.
The old center was over at the Northgate Mall.
Right, exactly.
And now you're moving to...
across from Walgreens.
So you can't miss it.
You can't. It's right there at Wilson Street. It's just going to be a beautiful...
It used to be Niederhaus.
Yes, yes, and it's going to be a beautiful facility. We're so proud.
I know they're excited about getting a new place.
And more parking and all of that.
Yeah.
So anyway, Mash Bash will be from May 4th to May 8th, and they'll have the wheel to spin. So you come in and you spin the wheel, and you get prizes.
Oh,
so
that's
they have
nice.
different things for like Thirsty Thursday and Fast Food Friday, Mall Monday.
That's great. And while you're there, you're supposed to be giving blood.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. We
It's all
want you to
about the
give blood.
right?
Exactly. You know, it's really important that we have enough blood for the hospitals like Harton.
Of course.
And we want to make sure that everybody knows that without volunteer donations, we wouldn't have
You'd
that
run
blood
out.
to save lives, and it's so important.
Is there screening for the person that comes in to do a blood transfusion?
There is.
I mean, not a transfusion,
right?
an
A
extraction.
donation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have a lab in Chattanooga, and all the blood that is collected goes down to our lab in Chattanooga, and we test it for about 13 different tests.
That's good.
So you
if there's a disease involved,
oh, absolutely.
it gets
you
thrown out.
absolutely know it's the most safest blood that you can have. Most safest. Can you say that?
You know, I for one have known how important having a blood drive. My husband, for instance, had to have, I don't know how many, 20 or so pints of blood.
It's a lot. When you need it, you need it.
When you need it, you need it. And family members don't always have the right kind.
You're exactly right.
What is the one that's most popular?
Well, most popular is O positive, and I'm an O positive, but O negative is the universal blood type. So that's the type of blood that can be used on anybody. It's compatible with any other blood type.
So if you need it,
but
they can't exactly match yours, that one works.
In the emergency situation, they will not take time to actually see what blood type you are. They'll just give you O negative if it's a trauma situation. Now, what you have to remember is that even though O negative is compatible with everybody, it's only 0.6% of the population. So it's a very rare blood type.
Yeah.
And if you are O negative, you've heard us call. We call you a lot asking for you to come in and donate blood.
How many times a year or a week or a person can actually donate?
You can give blood every 56 days, whole
56.
blood. So it's about every 8 weeks, and you know it's something that you should do.
Just put on your calendar.
Absolutely. When the seasons change, once a quarter, when you change your smoke detector alarm battery, you know that's
exactly. And
just
then just
remind
go
yourself
and
to
remind
do
yourself
it.
to go and donate. All right, let's tell them again when the Mash Bash is and what time it opens and closes.
Mash Bash is going to be May the 4th through the 8th at the new center. That's the most important thing, is it's going to be at the new center. And we will be open regular hours, and I believe it's probably 9 to 6 is what I feel sure that's good hours. And then we have our grand opening on May 14th.
And that's a big deal.
That is a big deal. May the 14th, we'll be cutting the ribbon at the new place. Now, we'll be in there before then, obviously. We'll be in there Monday. But we will definitely be cutting the ribbon and having a big celebration on May the 14th at 10 o'clock. Everybody is welcome. And then we have a golf tournament over at Lakewood.
And that's to raise
to raise some money and get to know the community a little bit better. So we're having that at Lakewood. If you're interested in putting a team in, it's $500 for a team of 4. And we've got
Prizes?
great prizes, great things they'll get.
You don't have to be a great golfer.
Absolutely.
You just have to want to have fun.
It's fun.
Right.
Yes. So if they want to do that, they can call me, or if they want to find out more about blood donations.
Should we give them your phone number?
Sure. My phone number is 423-667-5685, and that way you can just call me and get me directly. 423-667-5685, and then the Blood Assurance website is bloodassurance.org.
And so you can get all the information you need from that website. How long have you been doing this, Linda?
14 years,
and
long time.
You're doing a good job.
You're sweet to say that, Peggy. Thank you. You know, it's a good mission that we have, and we want to make sure that when people need blood, they have it.
There's nothing worse than having an emergency situation and the blood is not there.
You're exactly right.
Go out to other communities and try to find it. Maybe by then you haven't made it.
And that is true.
So really
that is so true. And you know, you have to realize that with one blood donation, you are saving 3 people's lives. Because
wonderful.
Yes, because we can pull out 3 different components.
How much blood do they take at a time from a person?
It's just a pint,
just
one pint of blood. And you know, I know that it seems like it might be uncomfortable, but probably the worst part is getting your finger stuck to see.
And then they give you a cookie or something,
oh yes, you get
something to drink.
Absolutely.
You get to rest up for a while.
Yep, and we're always giving things away.
Is how good you feel about having given.
You're saving lives.
It's a lifeline, and that's important.
It is definitely a way to be a hero, too. In fact, we're celebrating heroes this week. Anybody that wants to come in, firefighters and police officers, EMTs, all the people, military that we know that are heroes, we're asking you to come in and donate this week.
That's wonderful.
Be another hero.
Be another hero.
Yes.
Continue. Well, Linda, I think we have to go.
Oh, sounds great.
It's so
Thank you.
Nice to have
Thank you.
And we'll be looking forward to the Mash Bash.
It'll be soon.
Which is
May 4th through the 8th.
And don't forget, at the old Niederhauser place. We'll be back with more things.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No 2 visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
I was out having supper the other night, and we were leaving, and the people said, have a good weekend, and my wife looked at them and said, well, John's going to jail tomorrow. And they went, what are you going to jail for? And I said, don't worry, just going over to the new Coffee County Jail ribbon cutting to video our new state-of-the-art jail here in Coffee County, and take a look.
After 13 or so years and $20-some-odd million, Coffee County is about to open a new jail, a very modern, much larger facility, and has a great number of advantages to offer for the sheriff and his work. And here with us is the man of the hour, whose job it is to take over this facility and run a first-rate jail outlet. Steve Graves, by name, Steve. So it's great to be here. Tell us how you're feeling at this stage of the game.
Well, it's exhausting, but
we're elated that we're finally able, and we see a light at the end of the tunnel, and we're fixing to move into this facility. It is a state-of-the-art jail, and we built it to where, you know, for future expansion, it won't be that big of a problem. You know, our infrastructure inside the jail, we can add another pod and a half without even adding another stove or anything. But we're excited. You know, I think I'll finally be able to lay down at night and not worry about my officers getting hurt or killed, and not worrying about other inmates getting killed.
Yeah, very good. Well, you have about 225, I think, inmates at the moment?
We've got about 280.
280, okay.
Yes.
And your new facility is designed for?
It's designed for 400 inmates.
400?
Right now. So the county commission voted to keep the work annex open. So we've got a 40-plus person buffer right there if people meet the criteria for the work annex.
Yep. Okay, at the old jail. Yes. Very good. Well, give the folks a little bit of a verbal description of what you have here in your facility.
Well, we have 2 housing units at the facility. Each housing unit will hold approximately 200 inmates. Each housing unit has a control tower where guards are able to observe inmates 24/7. We have.
Can they see into each cell?
Not into the cell itself, but we also have guards that will be in the pod doing physical walkthroughs.
Okay. So it's how many cells? And 2-man cells or 2 people cells?
2 people per cell, and it, of course, it equals out to 400 inmates. We have a state-of-the-art kitchen. We have a state-of-the-art medical facility here now that, you know, before our nurses has been operating in a closet,
and you only had a day nurse, I noticed the other day. But
no, we've had a day and night nurse. It's just hard to keep nurses when they're working in a dangerous environment. You know, we've got 3 dedicated nurses right now, and they've stuck with us.
You've been having a lot of difficulty in recent years with the cost of the medical cost to the jail, and keeps charging your budget.
Yes, and, since October, we've had 101 inmates that had to be taken to the emergency room either for stitches or for inmate-on-inmate assaults. That's just since October 1st.
So the construction is you're hoping to minimize those assaults.
Yes,
to begin with.
That's a lot of our medical.
Right, and then you're able to cut out the outside trips to the emergency room or hospital. Cut it way down.
We hope to cut it way down. We have a master control that can take over operation in case something happens. It's basically the brains of the operation. We have a state-of-the-art booking area where nothing just comes together. In our old facility, booking, medical, visitation, everything is in one area, one place. And that just always has been a problem. Now it's separated.
Today's a day for a big open house, folks. So Steve will be showing off his facility to any and all comers today.
It's the citizens' facility, and you know, I know people don't like to build a jail, but you know, I think if they've ever seen the old jail and see this one, they will realize why we had to build this.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Your facility is all here. I'm sure you've got a lot of get-ready chores to do. But what are you actually expecting to move inmates in?
Inmates themselves will be, you know, the 1st of May. Of course, we're not going to publish an exact date because of safety reasons. But 1st of May, we're pretty sure the facility will be ready. We're probably have our investigators move in first, then our patrol division, and inmates medical and warrants will be all around the same time. So it's going to be a hectic month of May, and you know, we're expecting it to take anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. It's different. The booking procedures, everything's changed from the jail, because and it's been a learning curve for all the staff, not just the corrections staff, but patrol, investigations, everybody.
Sure. Okay, very good. Well, thank you, Sheriff Graves, for giving us your time, and hope you have a good crowd today, and the folks around here really need to be able to see this new facility.
Look at there, there's one of the instigators of this whole thing right there. What about you?
Right here, yeah.
Yeah, here's the other two right there. Look at it. You guys ought to be proud today.
Well, we are proud. We're glad to finally see it happen.
We are Goody Two Scoops.
I love Goody Two Scoops.
A family-friendly, yummy dessert specialty shop in Tullahoma, Tennessee. We excel in self-serve frozen treats and our own incredibly tasty chef-baked creations. For frozen treat lovers, we offer frozen yogurt, ice cream custard, as well as gelato and Italian ice. 85 flavors that rotate each day. 55 toppings including fresh sliced fruit. For our baked good lovers, Goody Two Scoops offers a variety of fresh pastries at a hometown price. Our 2 certified culinary chefs design and create incredible cakes. We showcase our cakes, froyo cakes, cupcakes, cookies, pies, and chocolate-covered strawberries, offered fresh daily.
I love playing.
Goody Two Scoops.
Wait,
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I'm so excited today. We have some guests with us from Community High School in Shelbyville, Tennessee, and I'll be speaking with their teacher, Liz Gassaway. Hey.
How are you doing?
Good to see you, Liz.
Good to see you.
And we have Scotty. Hi, Scotty.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. My name's Dylan.
And your name is Dylan.
Yeah.
I am so glad you guys came today. And let's talk about what's going on. You're Community Vikings.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have an event coming up.
We do, May 9th. We're having a fashion show. It's actually, we have rented the Hall of Fame Club that day in Shelbyville.
And that's at the Kelsonic Arena.
The Kelsonic Arena in Shelbyville. And we are going to have a spa day for women from 10 to 3. And then we're going to have a full-figured fashion show that night at 6 p.m. And admission is $10, and that'll get you in all day and all night.
I love the title, Full-Figured Phillies Fashion Show. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
It is a mouthful.
Who thought that up?
We had a contest. I own a store, the Mad Hatter store in Shelbyville, Tennessee.
What do you sell?
Plus-size clothes and bling, everything.
And where are you located?
In Shelbyville on Warner Bridge Road. We converted our garage into a store.
Okay. And now, how long have you been teaching the community Vikings?
I have been at community
here?
6 years. I've been teaching 16.
You got cut on your head, didn't you?
He did. He cut
and
his
I'm
head.
so sorry. And I imagine it hurt. And so you're raising funds.
We are
for your high school.
Actually, what we're doing is the store is putting on this event May 9th, and all the proceeds that we make, 100% of them go to the Bedford County Schools 7 CDC classrooms. We have 7 CDC classrooms.
So there's more
for
students
special
than
needs
what you
kids.
brought.
Yes.
I think you brought a group with you today.
Absolutely.
There they are. Come
we
on,
brought
guys.
our whole classroom. Y'all wave.
Say hello, and what were you going to say for us? Don't forget. May not come out. But May 9th, come out and support us.
Yay!
Good job. Now, these students that are here on the set with us today, including Dylan and Scotty, are your class.
That's my classroom at Community High School, yes. It's our CDC classroom.
And I believe we said these two gentlemen are seniors.
Scotty's a senior and Dylan is a senior. This is our last year with us. They graduate.
I should say in this year.
Yeah, they're graduating this year, so they're very excited.
Well, that's wonderful. Congratulations.
Good job.
I just mean this.
All right.
I just like this year.
Okay. We want to mention some of your vendors.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
The people that come to this event, it's not just...
we're promoting women that day. During the day, we're going to promote women, and it's $10 to get in. And we
don't just have to be a full-figured woman to come.
No, any women or anybody can come. We have a massage therapist. We're
that
having
sounds good.
Mary Kay, Unique, It Works, Advocare, bariatric surgery. We have someone from Plexus, from Light Healing, Jamberry Nails, Keep Collective, Juice Plus, and we also have someone who's going to do waxing, spray tanning, hair, manicures, pedicures. We have Perfectly Posh, Rodan and Fields, essential oils, and a lady Whistle Dixie Vintage Shirts. She makes custom-made shirts.
Good.
And then we finish it off with Sweet Southern Spirits, and they have a bakery.
What could that be? Sweet Southern Spirits. I'm thinking it might be something to drink, but
they have liqueur cakes and stuff, but they also have plain. They do their
That's
cakes
an exciting
without.
event.
We're excited.
6 p.m. admission, $10 for all that.
If you want to come to the Women's Spa Day that day from 10 to 3 p.m., you pay your $10 and you can come back to our fashion show that night.
Everything women need to look beautiful and to feel good about themselves.
And we're going to have an auction during our intermission.
What are some of the things you're auctioning?
Fashion show. We're going to have baskets. We're going to have huge baskets. We have a spa basket, a pet basket, a movie theater basket, a travel basket, a wine and cheese basket. We have a summer fun basket, and last we have a chocolate basket.
So you've had some really nice people to donate. And you probably would like to thank all your sponsors. There's probably too many to name.
We actually need more. We're in need of more basket
So what
items.
do they do? They call you?
They just call me, and we will
put that number up. What is your number?
Absolutely, 931-842-0070.
931-842-0070. And for information or whatever.
Yes,
or you can
if they'd like to make a donation, or they can just show up that day.
And if they want to bring to donate as well as just attend.
Yes, absolutely.
They can add some money.
We'll take donations at the door.
I imagine you need quite a bit of money to run things there. And,
yes.
Oh my goodness, Liz. These kids seem to love you.
They're sweet. They love everybody.
I think it'd be nice if can we put one more camera on our crew over there? And you all give me that cheer one more time. Don't forget May 9th.
May 9th.
Okay. Well, any last words from you?
We're good. Everybody come out and support us. May 9th, we start at 10 o'clock that morning, and we'll be rolling all evening. $10 will get you in and get you everything you've ever wanted.
Remember, it's in Shelbyville, Calisonic Arena, in the
Hall of Fame Club. Yes, ma'am.
So that's a beautiful building, by the way.
Thank you for having us.
Liz, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, Dylan. It was wonderful having you here, and thank you, gang, over there. We'll be back. Say goodbye.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5 5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Thank these officers. And now, following a tradition as old as the Olympic Games themselves, the Special Olympic flame will be carried around the track by DJ Hall from Franklin County High School. Please welcome DJ and cheer him in the Here goes DJ lighting our Olympic flame. Great job, buddy. Again, DJ Hall from Franklin County, who ran our Olympic flame this morning. Next time that you want to go skiing and see somebody on the dance floor in Gatlinburg, everyone needs to go and watch Jay Freeze on Coffee County Middle School. So again, thank you for all of our athletes. Guys, have a great day. Let me win. But if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. We now declare the 2015 Area 13 Special Olympics 37th Summer Games open. You guys have a great day.
We're here today on a lovely day at Tullahoma High School for the annual Special Olympics, and I'm here with Gary Gazelle. Gary, thanks for chatting with us.
Thank you for giving me a break. I've been running, bouncing around, so this is nice. Just to
I noticed. It's like it's your second year, correct?
That is correct.
And they've got you working, man.
They do. That's what it's all about. But believe me, I'm not the only one working. We've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of volunteers that are making this happen.
That's great. That's great. And we were saying earlier, this is 9th, 10th year that you've been involved?
I've been involved, doing a volunteer, did the 100-meter right here behind us. It was the event that I helped run, blew the whistle, started the athletes, and then had the opportunity to get more involved, and oh my gosh, more involved as it is.
Well, that's great. Now, Area 13, how many groups, organizations does that represent?
Area 13, Lower Cumberland region, consists of 5 counties, that being Bedford, Moore, Lincoln, Franklin, and Coffee counties. We have over 35 schools participating. We have 5 adult centers. So we have in our registry, we have over 1,500 athletes that are, and our athletes range from 8 years old to 77 years old.
Wow, that's fantastic. And again, I mentioned the weather. We're so used to having rain on these days. We've been blessed with a gorgeous day today.
We didn't even think. We know it's been a monsoon, but rain this year never entered our mind, because we knew that we were going to have, we looked 10 days out. Last year we got wet, but this year it is. It's been a wonderful, wonderful day.
Absolutely. Well, Gary, also I was going to bring up, I noticed you had a couple of large checks you were toting around with you earlier today. That must have felt pretty good.
That was wonderful. We had Kat Murray from McMurr's did a fundraiser back in February at the Jackson Civic Center. She put on a show. The organization raised $3,000 for us. That was outstanding. And then we also had the Life Care Associates, the folks that work at Life Care. They had a bake sale, a food of the worlds, and they raised over $1,500. Wow. So we have received just today 315, that's $4,500, and it takes, as you see, it takes a lot to drive this, but we do a lot more all throughout the year, just not this event. We've got 13 other events that we're trying to get the word out that this is our biggest, right. But this is just one of 13.
Absolutely, absolutely. And is there a website or anywhere that people can get information on anything they might need?
Facebook, we're on Facebook. Lower Cumberland Region, Area 13, Special Olympics TN. And if you go to the SpecialOlympicsTN.org, it will take you to our site also.
Excellent, excellent. Well, again, I don't want to keep you too long. I know you've got a lot of work to do today.
Thank you so much.
And we
I appreciate it.
Hey, we appreciate it, Gary. Thank you so much.
Thank you for stopping out here.
Oh gosh, I forgot it. Her nurse.
Need a claim number?
Her personal assistant.
Let me just grab a...
Her housekeeper. Her cook. Her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
All right, folks, we're back, and we have the Bell Buckle Express here today. We have two engineers on the train, Miss Tori Taft and Valerie Smith, and they're here to talk about all things wonderful in the little mystical town, enchanted village of Bell Buckle. And Valerie's going to talk about our educational outreach that she's going to do here at South Jackson. So we're going to start off with Tori.
Let's do it.
And Tori is a mover and shaker down there in Bell Buckle. Her husband, Russ Taft, and Tori moved to Bell Buckle, what?
Just about 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago. And, of course, Russ is known from the Christian music circles and the Gaithers and been all over the world and back again. And Tori, I'm sure like most dutiful wives, has supported him all that time.
I mean, of course I have.
But not
absolutely.
Only that, she is a star in her own right of radio and all kinds of big things that she does. So she's here to talk about the Artisans on the Square.
Absolutely.
In Bell Buckle.
Our second annual. There are big doings going on in Bell Buckle. Our second annual Artisans on the Square event is going to be May 16th. We have artists from all different kinds of genres that set up all around and demonstrate what they're doing. We have potters, we have painters, we have a blacksmith, we have a very loud chainsaw artist.
Chainsaw artist. Yeah,
It's
here's
gorgeous.
some of there's the
That's
the Felters.
That's right. That woman, not the one on the left. The one on the left is Donna. She is from Murfreesboro. She's an amazing mixed media artist. But the hat is a woman who has a farm outside of town, and she has Angora goats and all kinds of different hairy animals.
Llamas
that
and
she makes yarn from their wool and then makes this beautiful hat.
Felts those hats, which is an art in itself.
It really is, and she'll be there. She has her little spinning thing going, and it's a free, very family-friendly event, and it's a lot of fun. It'll be May 16th, which is a Saturday, and we'll start around 11 and go. Oh, actually, I think we're starting around 10 this year, and we're going to go till 5.
Okay, now as people walk around, they'll be able to maybe sort of like take a mini class or watch and maybe pick up some techniques for themselves while these artists are doing what they do.
And the wonderful thing about artisans is that they want to pass on what they know and what they learn. And so last year I remember watching people gather around the chainsaw artist.
Chainsaw guy.
That was, and it's educational, but you don't want to say that to your kids, so you just say it's fun.
Yeah. All right, now, also while this is going on, is there an opportunity for people to buy?
Yes.
Do these artists and creators have pieces to sell?
But I think most artists will have things set up. They have like as well
a little
as their
gallery or a table
Absolutely.
or whatever. So.
And there's lots and lots of different kinds of things to see.
Different kinds of stuff.
So you can get some good shopping.
And that's going to be downtown on the square, right?
We're going to be set up out in the parking lot, and then over across the street there's going to be, I think we're going to put the chainsaw artist
down by the banquet hall.
But no, he's great fun and really good to see.
And while you're there doing that, I don't know, are you going to have food vendors?
We have
or
a few.
Is everybody going to get it and squeeze into the Bell Buckle Cafe?
Well, everybody who comes to Bell Buckle wants to squeeze into the
Bell Buckle Cafe. That's right.
And that was a lovely segue you just did.
Thank you, dear.
Nicely done.
My first rodeo.
We have Southern Charm is a gift store there that's been there for years and years, and Southern Charm has just opened a tea room in the back of the store that is absolutely adorable. And there's some pictures of it there. You can see.
Look at that.
Isn't it gorgeous?
I want to see I know there's one of their different china and stuff. The food. There you go. Look at that, folks.
I know. Isn't that sinful just to look at? I know. We have it's officially, we'll do our grand opening in the fall.
Okay.
But for now, we have what they call a soft opening, which is just a way of saying,
we're in business.
Come on in, we're in business. And we're already booking bridesmaids luncheons, and we had a big table full of Red Hat ladies and last week. Where Red Hat ladies go, others will follow.
Oh, for sure. And Judy and Greg had me in there, I guess it was last year.
Oh.
And I think your lovely daughter was working in there at that time.
I think she was.
And when they were sort of testing the water on that to see if, I think they had one afternoon that they tried and sort of figuring out how to make it work and what type of product they needed and how to develop that concept.
Well, and Greg, who owns and his wife Jeanette, who own the Bell Buckle Cafe, also own this. So the man knows his food business.
Oh, yeah.
But he's learning his way around a tea room. He's got the pinky up thing. But
I can't wait to kid him. I can't wait to kid him about that.
He's getting more graceful with it.
Yeah.
But actually, it's not fancy schmancy. This is Bell Buckle, for crying out loud. So we had a.
But the pictures and everything, it seems quite. It's appropriate.
It's lovely. It's relaxing. It has spa music playing in the background. But we also had a farmer there cutting into some crepes a couple days ago. And I said, "You're man enough to eat at the tea room, aren't you?" And he said, "Yes, ma'am, I am." So everybody can come.
Well, there's not a whole lot of places around that serves an afternoon tea, and
it does.
I know my wife loves to go and have tea. If I have tea, I want lemon and ice in it.
Well, we have that as well.
And the sugar boiled into the water, but
we've got all.
But there's not a place to have to eat now.
And lunch
are you going to
well.
have at some points during the season or at some time during the week or the month? Will you have a high tea? every so often? Have you thought about that?
Our consultant, Judy, is from Canada, and those Canadians take their tea very seriously. So we have researched all kinds of tea and the difference between a high tea and a cream tea and a British tea and an afternoon tea. There's all kinds of nuances. So what we're kind of doing is a bell buckle tea.
Right.
So you can come in, and get a lunch. You can get crepes. You can get.
Yeah. That's great.
There's wonderful soups, but we also will do tea in the afternoon.
What about
you can get
seating?
as high
How
as
much
you want.
seating is there?
We have about right around 40.
So, what disappeared?
Well, part of the end we put a kitchen in, and then one part of the end of the store we have opened up.
Okay, so that would be closest to the banquet hall.
Yes.
That end.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yes. All right, so that's it. So let's go. Let's go now to Tori. Thank you, Tori.
Thank you.
We're going to go to Miss Valerie Smith.
Well, it's really not it. I mean, there's just so much going on in Bell Buckle and the surrounding area. This place is hopping. I mean, from Tullahoma to Bell Buckle, all over. We're keeping people busy this spring. But, you know, Mother's Day is coming up.
Right.
And you don't want to forget to do something for your mother.
That's true.
And probably the last thing you want is for your mother to cook on Mother's Day.
That's right.
So once again, the Bell Buckle Cafe is having a Mother's Day buffet on May 10th. And you want to bring your mother there. It's a beautiful buffet. Prime ribeye, Virginia baked ham, southern fried chicken, baked salmon, an assortment of vegetable salads, breads, desserts. And you can bring your adults, children, grandma and grandpas, all that.
Dogs.
Cats, dogs. And you just simply want to call the Bell Buckle Banquet Hall to make your reservations. Which you want to make them early because Mother's Day's big in that part of the world, so it goes fast. So just call the Bell Buckle Banquet Hall at 931-389-0223. I don't know if people remember, but get your pen, 931-389-0223, or bellbucklebanquethall.com. So that's coming up.
I'm trying to figure out where we are on our time here. Where are we on our time?
Well, then I'm gonna come here for one of your special events. I saw your commercial about. You talked a lot about the South Jackson Center, and I get to be a part of that wonderful organization this year. I'm coming to the school on May 15th. We have a presentation at 9 and a presentation at 12 p.m. and anybody can come to this. They just need to get a hold of the South Jackson Arts Center and ask about the educational program and what they need to do to be able to come to see that. I'm bringing some very special guests from the East Coast. Some award-winning musicians are going to be there. This one this year is called American Roots Music. I usually call it a bluegrass program, but I wanted to shake it up a little bit and call it American Roots Music and go on with other styles and do lots of other things that would interest students. And this year we're going to add some fun drums. That's the mini djembe. I'm going to have a lot of percussion stuff in the middle of this after bluegrass, and the kids, young and old, are going to be able to play along with me at the end of the show. But
this is the close.
And that evening, I'm going to be at the Bell Buckle Banquet Hall, too, doing a full 2-set show. So if you want to come to the Bell Buckle Banquet Hall in the evening for a show,
put a smoke signal up for them.
But just don't forget to talk about May 15th. Okay, John?
Go.
Take it solo, John.
Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling. Okay.
Little darling.
I should have said, here comes the sun
We are
first.
out of here.
How'd I do? Did
Here
I talk too
comes
fast?
the close. Da, 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 da.